Let's work into our strengthening and standing sequences now. We'll continue with some practices that we started to refine in March and add some new dynamic postures into that as well. Come to the front of your mat, standing with your feet roughly hip width apart. Let's take a nice big step back with your left foot. Outside edge of the foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, and the front right foot is pointing forward. We're going to sink into that front knee. Make sure that the knee is stacking over the ankle. Remember, we like to keep that joint nice and safe. If it's too far forward or too far back, it's going to create a lot of strain through the knee joint. So we want that knee joint stable and protected as we move through these standing postures. Once you feel steady here in your stance, reaching out through the fingertips, really activate the fingertips from through the front and through the back, and then take the gaze over the front middle finger. Settling here into our warrior two, taking a breath in and out, and then flip the front palm, breathe in, and sweep the fingers up and back, coming into reverse warrior. Let's dance forward again as we breathe in, and then gently breathing out. Breathing in, cycling from forwards and backwards as you move in time with the breath, keeping everything from the hips down nice and stable, and looking to lift and extend out of both side waists. Taking your time, let's gently move through one last round. And then stretching forward, settling into your warrior two, softening the shoulders, firming through the belly. And then bring your hands to your hips, turn your toes towards the side of the mat, and just bring yourself here into a slightly shorter stance. The feet are at an angle here, and we're going to stand up nice and tall. Reach up through the fingers, so making like a big cross or a star with the body. And then from here, breathing in and out as we take some big expansive circles with the arms. Really pressing down through the soles of the feet, stretching up through the fingertips. Just finding that sense of motion, sense of fluidity and expansion with the move. Let's add some squats now. So taking your big breath in and then sinking and exhaling. Keeping the spine long, switching the belly on so that the spine stays nice and straight. So avoiding any tendency to lean forward and stick your bum out so that we don't strain through the lower back. Inhaling, exhaling as you sink. And then taking another round. And enjoying that sense of fluidity and freedom that comes with these big expansive movements. Let's turn the left toes to face the opposite side of the mat. And then turning your right toes in so the outside edge of the mat is parallel, or the outside edge of the foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Remember, we want to stack that knee as we bend it. And find a long straight spine, soften through the shoulders as we stretch out from fingertip to fingertip. Finding your warrior one. And then moving dynamically through our dancing warrior as we inhale, sweep up and back to reverse the warrior. And exhale, sink back to warrior two. Inhaling, sweeping up and back. Exhale, soften, release. Making it a long, expansive movement. Lifting up out of the sides of the waist, stretching laterally through the length of the torso. Taking one more round here, keeping the breath steady and slow. Bringing the hands together, just turning the feet towards the side, taking your right toes back towards the original edge of the mat, and then step forward. Let's move through some lunging postures now. So take a big step back with your left foot, and this time you're going to rest on the ball of the foot, so keeping the heel high as you just find a comfortable edge in your lunge. Now, the longer the stance, the lower you lunge, the harder the work. So find a stance that's comfortable for you and make sure your tailbone is scooping down and forward to protect and keep the lower back nice and open. And then from here, just stretching back through the fingertips. If you'd like to create some more openness here, you can clasp the hands behind the back, draw the knuckles to the floor and lift through the chest. Now some of you are going to stay here for the next few moments, breathing steadily and slowly. If you're really open in the shoulders and you feel really strong today, you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe out, moving forward into what we call humble warrior. Drop that back heel down to keep yourself nice and steady through the pose. The right buttock is going to want to track out to the side, so keep bringing it back in, drawing it towards the midline of the body. When you feel ready, push into the front big toe and come to an upright position, releasing the clasp if you've taken that hands to hips. Take a gentle step back to the front of the mat. I'm going to change sides so you can see this on the opposite side, but you can stay where you are. Starting here with our feet hip width apart, this time taking a nice step back with our right foot. Finding the lunge first, remembering the longer the stance, the harder the work, the shorter the stance, the softer it's going to be. Scooping the tailbone down and forward, stretching out through the fingertips, finding that lovely opening here across the chest. You might look up towards the ceiling or simply at the wall in front of you. If you'd like to intensify the pose, clasp the hands, maybe take the opposite clasp here, draw the knuckles down and lift through the chest. Press down through the big toe of the front foot, really activate the underside of the front thigh and lengthen out through the back heel. Stay here, or if you're looking for a little more work, drop that back heel down, inhale fully and exhale as you fold down into what's known as humble warrior. Left shoulder to left knee here, track the sit bone back towards the midline. So you're finding a steady, strong foundation. When you feel ready, breathing in, pushing into the front big toe to bring you up, releasing the clasp and stepping back to the front of the mat. Standing here with your feet hip width apart, finding mountain pose now, spreading through the toes, lifting through the arch, drawing energy up into the hips, up the spine, and all the way up to the crown of the head. Take a settling breath in and a calming breath out. We'll move into some balance poses in the next video.